How'd you enjoy those panels? Yeah! Damn right. How many of you went to the Musics from the Grid panel Friday morning, or Friday afternoon? One person, that's right. The panel where I'm by myself with no Power Rangers, only one guy shows up. I love you, sir. What was that? Oh yeah, she was there. She was taking pictures. I can't wait to get those photos. Because if I don't, the other people on my podcast will beat me up. And I see them for Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Boom. Oh, God. That's for not having the Twitter handle tagged. So, how many of you are actually excited for Johnny because of Power Rangers? Checks notes. How many of you are excited for Bleach? Checks notes. How many of you are excited for Demon Slayer? I'm going to say checks notes 2 more times. Checks notes. Nero from Devil May Cry. And I can do the line again. Brawley from Dragon Ball Z. Apparently he was also in Akira. 1988. I didn't know that one until this morning. Door knock if there's behind the door, please.
Nope.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm scared. I'm going to go this way.
Well, they just come out of the
Follow the journey of seeing if Johnny's behind the door. Yeah, drum roll. Yeah, let's do a drum roll. Nope. Okay, you can boo me for that one. Yeah, it's the effort that counts. Alright, hold on. 1%. What were you saying? And then who was talking? You don't want me to sing. There's a reason I'm not wearing my glasses, I'm wearing contact lenses. And for everyone else, I'm be apologizing for breaking their glasses, especially Bulk and Skull right there. Oh yeah, while we're waiting, how many of you been having fun this weekend? How many of you have been here all 3 days? How many of you were only here yet? Well, actually, technically that's a lie. How many of you have only been here for yesterday and today? How about just today? Why were you here the other 2 days?
Yeah, right.
There. All right! Ladies and gentlemen, let's get that drum roll going. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the greatest Power Ranger of all time. This is Johnny and Bosch.
Hey.
So, did you take a wrong turn in Albuquerque or something?
Am I late? Sorry. No, I was, because, flights are today and I had to pack up my table. And then, of course, as I was packing up the table, and there were people that came by and wanted stuff, and I want to make sure that they got, whatever they needed before I was gone. So, did that. And I left my banner because I couldn't roll it up, so if one of you guys want to take it. I mean, it's there, so it's up for grabs. Just don't fight for it.
Guys, I did not bring a referee uniform.
Oh, yeah, whoever wants it, it's just sitting there. I should have signed it.
Next convention.
Right, yeah. I was going to, I was asking if they could find scissors, and I was just going to cut out each of the characters and then just toss them out here, but they couldn't find scissors, so. Sorry.
So,
Somebody's got a very sharp knife. Don't toss it up here. Oh, you're not? Okay.
You couldn't find scissors. No scissors for you. That's considered a weapon. But as I mentioned, as I introduced him as the greatest Power Ranger of all time, as I mentioned, I do a podcast named Voices from the Grid. Yeah, we actually have a photo with Johnny from last year at AwesomeCon DC. Not behind you.
Oh,
It's on social media. It's okay.
Okay, fine.
But we do a fun little thing because we do legitimately call Johnny the greatest Power Ranger of all time on the show. To the point where in the second season, we actually did timestamps of every time Johnny made his first appearance on the episode.
Oh, really?
Yes. No pressure.
I see it, though.
No pressure.
Okay, cool.
So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have a microphone right over here. If you have questions for Johnny, hop right on over to the microphone. I am not going to keep on ripping. I want to get right to you guys. So
The sofa is deeper than my legs.
yeah, no, I was trying to.
You know, I feel like if I sit all the way back, I'm like this. So I gotta sit up here, I need like a pillow behind me.
What's your name? What's the question you got for Johnny?
Hi, my name is Elise, and it's not a Power Rangers.
Doesn't have to be.
Then sit down. No. It's all right. It's not just Power Rangers. I've done other things too.
If Nezuko or Tanjiro were here, what would you say to them?
If they were here, what would I say to them? It wouldn't be much. Trying to think of the last thing I said, and I think the last thing I have said was in the movie. And all I said was, "Is that so?" They brought me in to work for, "Is that so?" Is that so? 3 words.
Was the paycheck good?
I don't remember. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was fine. I mean, like coming in just to do that takes like no time at all. What would I say? I would probably say, when is the next season coming out? And am I in it? And do I say more than one line? Do I at least get to kill someone?
Not Nezuko, though.
Yeah. No, I love the series, and my daughter really loves it. And I've mentioned this, maybe not here, but I mentioned it before. You know, just trying to, I mean, I've done all sorts of anime and stuff, and my kids haven't really watched any anime, and then this was when her friends were watching, and so I was kind of excited to watch it with her because I was, hey, what do you think about that Tomio? He's alright. And Nezuko's her favorite, and then of course my son, he started watching it. Hey, what do you think of that Tomioka guy? Who? That guy. He's like, I don't remember that. But I'm gonna make sure that once the fight with Rui is about to happen, I'll be like, pay attention, son. Because I'll do this to you. Just trying to get my kids to like me. I went off on a tangent there, but whatever I said before is the answer.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for watching.
Hey there, what's your name?
Hello, I'm Amanda. I figured out that you were a musician at Power Morphicon. That was the first time that I found out Einstein existed.
Many years ago.
Yeah.
Many moons. 10?
Yeah.
10
In 2016, you did the concert at Power Morphicon, and I know in 2014 you did an Einstein concert at USA DC.
Yeah, but the very first Morphicon. You're probably talking about the first one?
I was at the 2012. That was my first.
Yeah, 2012.
Even longer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We go way back.
So my favorite song is still Emotions called the
Oh, yeah?
acoustic version.
The acoustic version.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I was just wondering, do you have any reminiscent nostalgia stories about Einstein or something that you want to tell us about where giants fall? And just
Well, some of you guys don't know, I had a band called Eyeshine, EYESHINE, got the name from Crocodile Hunter, if you guys even know who he is. He was looking for crocs. He kept saying, look at their eyes shine. And I was like, that's a good band name. Anyways, so we've been playing for a long time. We, have close to 200 songs, quite a few albums out, and then we ended up changing our name to Where Giants Fall. We released an album about a year ago, and we're starting work on a new one this month. Actually, we started to track some stuff down, and actually we got a lot of stuff down actually. But and so yeah, so we've got new stuff. If you want to go check out the last stuff we did, it's Where Giants Fall. It's all on YouTube or whatever. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. But yeah, it was good fun, and it's thanks for bringing that up. That's something that I do enjoy doing. It's something that I created, and I write the lyrics, and it's just been fun. Yeah.
And what song should we listen to?
What songs should you listen to?
Yeah, like if you give us homework and we listen to one of your songs, what should we go home and listen
One
to?
song I'm going to say right now, because I was actually listening to the album, because I had it on my MP3 player, Where Giants Fall. Only Human was a song I love, and I love Crazy World as well.
Yeah.
Good
Nice.
songs.
Yeah.
And we actually used Starting All Over Again by I Shine as our opener for Voices from the Grid.
Nice. Well, awesome, man. Thanks. I like them all. I like my children. But I think it's that I know more people either gravitate towards Undone, or maybe Company of Angels, just depending on your mood. But yeah, just go check out Where Giants Fall and leave us a comment, because I will see those, and then it'll let me know which songs you guys like, and kind of we'll know what kind of, like if we're gonna go edgier for the next album or not. So we'll see. Thanks for bringing that up.
What's your name, bud?
You call me Zilla.
Zilla.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Johnny. I've seen in interviews where you've been like, every time they ask you about Adam, you're always like, can I die? I just want to know, like, are you okay? Like, is there like, do you need a hug? Is Adam okay?
Who hurt Adam?
No, I
keep wanting
think,
Adam to die. I'm like, what?
No, I just believe the greatest example of love is willing to sacrifice yourself for those that you care for, and I feel like for Adam to do that for whatever his fellow Rangers or something, I think that would just speak volumes, and yeah, so that's why I'm not like I'm not suicidal.
Okay. I remember I saw this, you were just like, can I die? And you were like,
Well, I mean, that's what I was thinking.
Like,
Each
no
time I
context.
asked them, each time I asked.
I mean, a good example of that was in space when you were using the busted method.
I know, that was like, it was the perfect time for it to happen. And
now
I
you're back
remember
for the
Luigi going, no, we're not gonna kill Adam.
I mean, I would have been devastated.
But now you're back for the 30th.
Yeah, so there's still a chance.
What's your name? You can grab the mic and move it down a little bit.
There you go.
Okay, so my name is Gazelle, and so I've been a fan of Bleach since I was like 6 years old, so I'm 25 this year.
You watched that when you were 6?
Yes! It was 11 p.m. My dad barged in, and me and my sister did the whole. And we were trying to stay up to watch it. And so, because of the resurgence and like the revival of Bleach right now, so we just watched the latest episode that came out on Friday. And so, how did you feel coming back? Did you have to like exercise your voice again, or did it naturally come out to you?
No, I am Ichigo. He's just a character that is like, when you pick up with a friend that you've known for a long time, you just pick up right where you left off. That's what Ichigo is like for me, So it was great to go in there and to do a few bankais and then get some good show, just to be back in that world again was pretty cool, and to really kind of pick up and felt like we were just picking up right where we left off. They're still battling hollows and stuff, so yeah, it was cool for sure. It was exciting. I'm happy that there were enough people. I think it's you guys, and the fans that just were constantly still into it, and that's why they were like, well, what are we doing? You know, I thought that for the longest time. Like, why didn't we stop? You know, what's going on here? And I'm sure there are reasons, but you know, I'm really glad that it's back there. No problem. And I'd like to do that for Trigun as well. If those if the people in charge are listening, I do want to come back. Please ask me. I'll stay.
What's your name, bud?
Hi, my name is Roy. I have a question. Out of all the positions you were offered, like for being Power Ranger, what made you decide to be a Power Ranger, and which of the Rangers are you closest with right now to this day?
What made me decide that? I mean, I just wanted to do action on television, so it was me going to an audition. And so it was more me auditioning, me trying out basically to get on there, and then thankfully, you know, being able to do that. What was the second part of the question?
Which one of the Rangers are you closest with right now, like to this day?
You know what? I get along with all of them. You know, I was just in New Zealand with for a second there. I was like, wait, can I say that?
I mean, the photo is out.
I know, but it's like, you know, there's only so much I can talk about, and so
If you
let
want,
me
just
pump
tell
the brakes
just tell
real
me-
quick.
Hey,
Think
Yong,
about
just
this.
tell me just do a big bleep when you need to say certain things they don't want to hear. Just tell me to do a massive bleep, and I'll just bleep you out. Bleep.
So that's how the 30th anniversary special ends. Yeah. I'm excited. No, I get along with them all. You know, I hang out with them whenever I see them, and you know, they're friends. You know, they're good friends. You know, not just the Rangers though. You know, to you guys it's Bulk and Skull, but Paul and Schreier are good friends of mine too. Jason and I, we've got our own production company, and so we've got more projects that are coming. We've got a couple of them that are done, and we're just kind of like waiting for the producers to allow us to show them because they're shorts. So as soon as we get the green light to show these things, we'll put them up so people can check them out and kind of see what we've been up to.
And take the time to go onto YouTube because Arc Exodus is up, which came out last year on October 1st.
Yeah, it's actually it's on Vimeo now, but you can watch trailers and stuff. I think we took it off YouTube because the YouTube quality is not that good, you know. So, but it's on Vimeo. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see a link to our site, and you can find it through there somehow.
Highly recommend. I remember I went to work. It was my birthday when you put it out, and I actually went to work, got home. The moment I got home, I watched it, and it was amazing.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was something that was literally thrown together.
That's what
I'll
Narvi.
leave it there.
That's what Narvi said yesterday.
Yeah, it was just literally thrown together, but it ended up working.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Hey there, what's your name, bud?
Hi, my name's Chris. I was wondering what your memories are about Gatekeepers and also Eight Clouds Rising.
Gatekeepers, oh my goodness. That's like the third or fourth thing I did in anime.
You were the main villain.
Yeah, and I don't, nobody ever talks about that.
Oh.
I never see that come across my table.
I mean, sir, you have 416 acting credits on IMDb. How are we supposed to remember it all?
No, I expect it. I don't know. I do remember. I just fondly having memories of it, being a villain. I thought it was pretty fun. Thought it was cool. But you know, more people remember like LaLoosh.
Yeah.
And those villains and whatnot. What was the other thing you said?
Eight Clouds Rising. It was you and Steve Staley. It was kind of a Yahweh thing.
Was I in that?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Is it a game or an
It's
anime?
like a two episode OVA.
8 Clouds Rising?
Yeah. You guys are the leads.
How long ago was this?
It was like very early in your career.
Really?
Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta look it up.
See, you're upsetting the child. Come on now.
So
why is he asking hard questions? On next
Does
episode of
anybody
Jeopardy.
remember that? Way to go, man. Throw something in there that I don't know. I don't think I'm in that. Are you
Okay,
sure?
well, my second one was Heroes Greenwood.
Oh yeah, Greenwood I was in.
Yep. Those are around the same time.
Really?
Assuming that credit's still correct.
Where did you see that?
Anime News Network, I'm pretty sure.
Oh really? Maybe it's right. Wendy Lee directed it. I think so. Man, you're right. So yeah, I remember it fondly.
So fondly, you have to look it up.
I don't remember that. Look at the picture. Yeah. Gosh, looks a little bit like Kodo. I don't remember that.
That's
great.
fine.
That was recorded in 2004. All right. Thanks for stopping me. That's a new one. It's funny because sometimes that happens. It's rare, but I feel like I know it all that I've done, but I guess not.
Thank you.
Kevin from yesterday. I got one question for you. All your time in Code Geass as LaLouche, who is your favorite name you screamed out? Because you screamed out a lot of people's names.
Did I scream out a bunch of names?
Okay. You're all time.
I'm like scared by the way you asked that question.
I scream out a lot of names?
Cordelia for sure.
Listen, I think all of anime, every character screams out names. So, yeah, you're probably right. I'm trying to remember a name though that I screamed out, but I don't really recall screaming out a name. It's usually like shouting something with a long phrase. I don't know. Huh? Did he scream Shirley though? Things that I remember are more like, going into a big laugh, a laugh cry, craziness, that sort of stuff. Nonnally, did he scream Nonnally?
A lot.
You guys are wrong. I'm just hoping you make that compilation. Throw it up on TikTok. Actually, that's your job. Is to throw up all the screams, all the names only.
You've literally been given homework by Johnny.
Leave the panelists like, dang it, homework.
Hello, my name is Marina, and I have another Code Geass related question. If you had Geass in real life, who's the first person you would use it on, and what would you make them do?
He made me dance.
Well, I guess I would use it on you guys. You're like, I would. I, Lelouch V. Britannia, command you to dance. All right, so it works on a couple of you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Let me start by saying I took some time to listen to the When Giants Fall album, and I'm enjoying the first track so far.
Ah, thanks, man. What's the first track?
As for my question,
Okay, go for it.
Bleach
What's the question? Sorry.
the many top series in anime and manga. I was wondering between the main characters of One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Naruto, which of of the main characters do you think Ichigo would tolerate the most?
Which would he tolerate the most?
Yes.
It wouldn't be any of the Naruto ones. I mean, I could see him and Sabo getting along fairly well. Totally, you know. I'm trying to think what he'd be like with Broly, though. It might be like a, you know, him and Kenpachi kind of situation. Like, it'd be like that, you know, like, okay, this guy's maybe a little dangerous. I think it'd be Sabo. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Well, because, you know, like, Ichigo, he's like, his biggest thing is like his friends and his family, you know, and he would do anything to protect them, you know, and he has that passion there. And Sabo's the same way, especially with Luffy, you know? Like that bond can never be broken, even if anyone tries, right? And so that's stuff. So I think it would definitely be Sabo.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Of course.
Hey, you didn't get stuff on
Yeah, no, that was an easy one. Try again.
What's your name, bud?
Hi, I'm Nathan. I'd like to thank you for your work on Yong Murakami over the years. Your deadpan delivery Persona 4 is one of my favorite things about the animation.
Thanks, man. What about Adachi?
I mean, Adachi's good, but he's a sociopath, so...
Yeah, all right.
My question... Oh, right, I'm supposed to have a question. Do you have any more involvement with Persona, or is it kind of in limbo right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as far as... I don't know if he's coming back or if there's more stuff coming.
I just want, like, just to make the Persona 4 cast adults already, just bring it back.
I would love that, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, it's a really cool story, a great world. The characters were really, really good. I think the relationship between the characters was really, really good. But I wasn't in 5, but I hear 5 was really great too. So, you know, maybe they're moving on, I don't know. But absolutely have no problem going back to that, for sure. Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you for coming to Minneapolis.
Thank you. It's not on Switch yet, though, right? I'm still waiting.
Persona 4 comes out on Xbox later this year or early next year. Okay.
Yeah, real quick, John. Is this your first time in Minneapolis?
Been here before, right? Have I not been here before? Maybe. I will be back though. I am coming back. Well, I'm not supposed to plug the other cons, but anime detours, so I'll be back to that one.
She just gets super excited right there.
Then I'll see you there.
What do you got, Bo? What's your name, man?
My name is Nick. I was wondering if you could say in Saucer's voice, art is eternity.
Okay, in Saucers. It's been a long time. Hang on. I just gotta remember them. Art is eternal. There you go. I kind of chose the wrong one though. I was like thinking in my head, like whenever I think about him, I think when it's like basically his energy is draining and his battery is dying. Basically, that's the sense that I get. I think about like, oh, it's like his battery's dying. It's when he's fighting. I'm like, what's your face? Yeah, I know.
Hey, Bo, what's your name, man?
My name's Elijah, and I have a Persona
What?
question. Yeah. Oh, it's not actually. I have a question about Persona. You or Adachi? Who's more of your favorite?
Oh, you or Adachi? More of my favorite?
Yeah.
At first it was Adachi. Just because he's, you know, it's just more fun to play and be. And in the beginning, really, Murakami was just a bunch of call-outs and shots and fight noises. So there wasn't, you know, a whole lot for me to do there as far as like exploring the character. And so Adachi definitely in the beginning there. But then of course in later games and then absolutely in the anime, he was a little more fun to play. Because I don't know, he's he's quirky, right? He was an odd character in the game, or not
Cabbages.
in the yeah. Wait, did you say cabbages?
Yeah.
Isn't that from the abridged? What?
Avatar, my
Avatar?
That's where mine goes.
Oh, really? That's where your mind goes? Oh, Last Airbender? Yeah, they have cabbage in there? Really? The best part of the whole series? Cabbage? And Avatar? That's not saying a lot. Or maybe it is. So yeah, so Adachi in the beginning, and then eventually Narukami once there's more stuff for me to do with him.
All right, thank you very much.
No problem.
We miss you. Please come back in Persona 5 Arena. If they ever make it, of course.
Yeah, if they make it, I'll be back, you know. Unless something happens.
Thank you very much.
What's that? Yeah, you're supposed to bleep those things. Anything I say wrong.
Hey, bud, what's your name?
What's up? My name's Ethan. I've been a Bleach fan since like elementary school. Watching it on like Adult Swim was definitely like a core memory for me. I don't really
like super late.
Oh yeah, of course. I don't really have a question so much as a request. Can I just get a Getsuga Tensho from you?
Boy. Sure. My thoughts already hurt.
I'm so sorry.
Doing this for you, man. I'll take it. Getsuga Tensho!
Hey, bud, what's your name, man?
I'm Steven. My question is, since I've watched every episode of Power Rangers this year, did you ever get to fight in the suit? And if so, what was it like?
Nah, usually like when I was on the show, the suit stuff was all stock footage from the Japanese series. I'm just answering your question. Oh, you're for real. Did you lick it?
You're good.
Just had Halloween, you know, as I had to check all my kids' candy. You guys all check the candy, right? Am I the only one?
My parents took my
parents.
candy.
My parents took mine and they would check it, so I just felt like that's what I'm supposed to do.
My parents wouldn't check it; they would just take it.
They would take it.
Yeah, my dad would just eat it. You know? Like,
See, my wife actually takes the candy, but my kids don't know. Like they're just like, hey, where's the Kit Kat? And I'm always like, where were we?
Acting in the suit.
Oh yeah, stunts in the suit. So yeah, so usually it was stock footage, and then there's a Japanese stunt team that was shooting a lot of the helmet head stuff or in costume stuff because it's faster. If second unit is over there doing that stuff, and then we're over here doing whatever we're doing. Now we would do all of our regular city fights. So when we were in civilian costume or whatever costumes were, wardrobe, then we would do our fights then. In the movie, I did do my ninja stuff, but that's because my double broke his leg. But in most cases, we didn't do any suit fighting. We would do just the civilian stuff, yeah.
Okay, and then one last thing, I staff Detour. Welcome preemptively to Detour.
Oh, you do?
If you get a chance to drop by the cosplay part of the contest, that's what I staff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's gonna
5
be
years
huge
now.
there. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you hold the 4 fingers when you said
5 years,
Okay.
sorry. Hand out my jacket and
Oh, and the thumb just was like, eh.
Yeah.
I'm not participating yet, sir.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Well, I guess I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Nice.
See you there.
All right.
Hey, what was your name, man?
Hi, my name's Chase, and going back to the Persona 4 questions, explaining the Cabbage Man thing for Itachi, it's because he mentions that it's like cheap and easy, and you know, he's poor and can't afford much, and it became a meme that he just buys cabbages and eats them.
Is that why I keep signing images of Adachi with
Yes.
cabbage?
Yes. But it's super cool. You're in Minneapolis. I've been waiting, like I said yesterday, to see you since middle school. So I'm 23 now.
Man, all right, I guess I haven't been here.
And my question for you was, what was it like recording two different characters, Adachi and Narukami, how different they are?
Well, what's funny about that is that I didn't know I was going to voice any other character but Adachi. So when I went in the original game, and I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't familiar with Persona 3 or anything before that. All I knew was like, I got this role as Adachi in Persona 4, and in my head I was like, part 4 or something? Nobody's gonna play this, you know? But then when I got in there and I started working on it, I was like, man, this is a really cool series. I really like this character, and the story, and just the elements of it. And I had no idea what the gameplay was going to be like, but I liked a lot of the mystery and the things that were going on. I liked who Adachi was, and that there's a bit of a change from his character and who he is. And so I had no idea, and it wasn't until towards the end of that, I maybe had a couple recording sessions, but at the end of recording Adachi, like maybe the last 45 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever it was, they're like, all right, so once we're done with this, we're going to go through and do the protagonist. And then, and I wasn't thinking about, like, at that time, like, I had no idea, like, I needed to reserve room in my vocal range for another character. And so I kind of was panicking a little bit. I'm like, well, what's he sound like? What's the tone of this character? That's kind of your tone. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do with Adachi. What am I going to do? And they're like, but it's like call outs, it's fight noises, the controlling the protagonist. I'm like, okay. So I'll gruff him up a little bit and kind of keep making him lower register. And so that worked, I think, for the first game. And then, of course, there were more games, and you started talking a bit more, and then the anime came out, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to do something here. So it really is the anime when I kind of started, I had to separate them a bit more, otherwise it would be way too obvious.
Yeah, Adachi was like higher pitched.
Yeah, I had to adjust. I mean, at first I was like, can somebody else, do Narukami or Adachi or whatever, and just switch us up? And they're like, no. And so I was like, all right, well, let me adjust him and bring him up this way because we're spending more time with Narukami. And he is a bit more monotone, which is kind of funny. But then you can really see the separation of the characters, I think, and more of closer, I guess, to the video game, like in the end when you more of the reveal of who Adachi is, which was kind of fun for me to go. And it wasn't again even that. It was more like I would go through and I would do Narukami first in the anime, and then I would go through and do Adachi, and then we'd listen back and just double check to make sure that there's enough separation, or at least to where I felt comfortable enough and the director felt comfortable enough to move on. Yeah. So it's a little tricky, but
Yeah, I'm glad you did it. So Ichigo and those two have been my comfort forever. So
thank you so much. I appreciate you playing the game and watching the anime.
Yeah.
Super fun for me though.
Hey there, Johnny. My name is Junfin. So I've been a huge fan of yours ever since watching you in Trigun.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering if you could do Bosch's iconic Love and Peace.
I could try. My voice is a little raspy.
This world is made of love and peace. And my other question is, because there is a reboot of the Trigun, are you really pushing to get that role?
There's nothing I can do.
It would be awesome.
Yeah, it's all I just sit here and go like, well, I'll just wait for the phone call. So if they call me, then yeah, I'll be there. Otherwise,
good luck and thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I hope it's good. It's different. It's different. I saw the trailer, which I'm like, all right, we're fine, but we'll see. Taj, how are you doing?
Hello there, Johnny. I have a question about Lelouch and Ichigo.
Okay.
If you had to choose which one of their lives to live in for a year or two of your life.
Ichigo. No I'd much rather be in Ichigo's shoes than Lelouch's shoes. Come on. That's an easy one.
I just love the no hesitation.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's no way I want to deal with all that drama. I mean, Ichigo has drama, but I mean, you've seen it. He gets beat up a little bit and then he's stronger. So I can do that.
Hello there, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Aj. First of all, you were really good in Hormia, and you actually actually had a scene with my friend Youngie. If you know him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Youngie Chang. He was Shu.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not in the booth together. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, so I don't know who I work with.
My question is, how did you meet Caitlin Glass, the director?
How did I meet her? You know, it's funny. I think I've met most of the other voice actors she was directing, obviously, but I've met most of them at conventions. You know, and you know, anyone like other people that have like Yuri Lowenthal. It was like, actually, I didn't know I met him at an audition. But usually I meet people like at the, you know, conventions, you know, and like in the back green room or whatever during lunch. Then you run into these people, like, what are you in? It's like, well, I'm in that, you know. It's like, who are you know? Because especially with anime, we're not in there, you know, with other people. And even now, after COVID, we're in our own studios, you know, by ourselves. So yeah, it's funny. I don't always get to meet the people until we're at a convention or something. So yeah, Caitlin, I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was at a convention. But then, you know, she's directed me a few times on other projects like Free, and she's awesome. She's good people. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Johnny.
Hi.
My name is Keela. I've been a huge fan of yours since 90s Power Rangers started it. But my favorite role of yours is Guy in Tales of the Abyss. And I was wondering if you remember anything about playing that, or if you had a favorite memory.
Well, what I do remember is I was working on that at the same time I was working on Dot Hack. And I remember that because Kuhn is kind of a womanizer a little bit, you know, and Guy is afraid of women. And so those are the things I really remember. They're different characters, but obviously, but yeah, I do remember having fun with that. It was a game. So games are different because games, there's not always animation. I don't think there was any animation for that one, and it's more just like, you know, lines on the page. You just really kind of run through it because you got to make whatever deadlines. And so I knew that I really wanted to play that game, and I remember trying to play. I'm terrible at games, first off. And I didn't know that I don't get to like choose my character. And then I started playing, and then, you know, finally I got to meet my character. So, hey, that's me. And then he like left, and I'm like, I don't get to be him yet. Yeah, so that's my memories of that. I was hoping they were going to do an anime, or at least I thought there was one, but they never localized it.
Yeah, but if they did.
If they did, I'd be there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So apparently they're saying it's in Japan, it just hasn't been brought over yet.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
But it's been out for a while.
Yes, it's been out since before the details of that show here. I'm autistic.
There's still hope? I don't know.
Thank you.
It's up to you guys. Thank you, and thanks for the question. Nero?
What's up, Johnny?
How you doing? Did you beat the game?
Did I beat the game?
Yeah. I mean, I have to ask. I pretty much every single time it's yes. But, you know, it's like, at what level did you beat it, you know? Because I'm terrible at just the basic level.
Oh yeah, I just did the basic.
Oh, you did?
I wanted to hear you. I didn't want to get mixed up with the game.
There you go. All right.
But I'm Trace. I'm a huge fan of your voice work. It's inspired me to be a voice actor myself, so I definitely want to go into something like that. I'm surprised there's no DMC questions around here.
Well, you could be the first.
You got the microphone, man. Make it happen, bro.
I've seen a couple cosplay though, for sure.
I actually don't have a DMC.
That's fine.
I was wondering about Trigun. That was so long ago.
Yeah.
Do you look back at it like fondly, or do you kind of cringe like that was my first stuff? Do I?
That's interesting. I look back at it fondly. I do. Would I do some things differently? Probably.
Yeah.
You know, but and again, yeah, that was my first time going through it. It's kind of learning the ropes really on that. But I had such a good time on it. It was really, it launched me into voiceover. So fondly for sure. Yeah.
Because I actually just watched it a couple months ago because I knew you were coming here, so I was like, I gotta get on that. But I can hear it's so different. You've grown so much since then.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to hear.
It's interesting because I think I wasn't a very strong voice actor, I would say. Well, I think my projection was different then, because I was from Power Rangers, in Power Rangers I was basically me. I was like quiet, shy guy, didn't talk a whole lot, and then going into anime and voicing Vash and Trigun, I was like the same guy, and I remember, and I grew up in Texas, and so I still had a little of that in my, kind of like an accent, not really an accent, but you can hear it here and there, which is interesting because then if they do ask me to come back, part of me is like, well, I kind of am maybe gonna do that again, and then try to I want to try to, if I get to come back, bridge the gap a little bit, Anyway,
I have one more.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there. We have about 10 minutes left.
So we got to speed up.
Yeah. So we're gonna try to get a few more questions in real quick. Okay, guys?
Sorry. This is my second panel I've been to, so after that, they usually sign stuff. Are you signing things for the day?
I think I'm done, yeah. I'm heading out.
You're heading out after
this?
Yeah. So he had a booth down in the exhibitors hall all weekend.
Is there any way?
You guys can boo me on this one, okay? I'll take the heat for Johnny, all right?
Did anybody miss other than you?
I have a steelbook of DMC4. If you could sign it, that'd be freaking awesome.
Well then, I'll talk to my manager and maybe I'll just hit the table right before I head over to
That'd be amazing.
the van to head back over.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Noella, and I just want to say first, you give really amazing hugs. So I'm the one that cried, and I'm probably gonna cry now because you've been really super influential here. I'm sorry. I grew up watching Power Rangers and Trigun in college. Okay. So my question for you is, as a parent, what kind of words of encouragement could you say to someone who's really struggling with having standards and boundaries for your kids? I'm sorry.
Well, thank you for the question.
Yes.
What kind of boundaries would I?
Yeah, like words of encouragement as well, because my kids are really struggling because I'm a single parent and everything, and so I'm just I really look up to you, so I really apologize. I'm just
I appreciate the question, and I'm gonna give you another hug.
Okay.
Gosh, I don't know. That's it's complicated. I think it's important to. I don't have a specific encouragement, but I think in general, I would say always encourage your children. If I give any examples, it's like my daughter likes to draw and do whatever, sketch things out, and I encourage her on those things, and I think it's important to extend love, and even though it's not, maybe somebody might think that that's a waste of time, it's encourage it. I don't think it's a waste of time. I would be here doing
I
voiceover.
literally have a play, Dr. O.C., who spreads love and not disease, so.
I'm not, obviously being a single parent is very tough. And, I don't even know, I'm just making things up right now, but I just think love is super important, and just love your kids and love yourself and just continue, just things are gonna get hard, but things do get better as well, you know, and you get stronger in those tough times, you know, but just all you have each other, and so love each other, and let them learn love from you, and they'll go on and grow up and also love others, you know, it's just important to it's easy to hate. So if you can just avoid that, you know, and then somehow just get back to love, you know, I think things would be much better. If we could learn to love all of us, you know, I think it's how crazy the world has been, you know, and how politics has really kind of screwed us all up, where we can come to a place like this, and it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, or whatever, we could each go watch, you know, Power Rangers or, you know, or Bleach, and we could unite on something like that, you know, and you can still find love in things like that. So, let's just learn to love each other. And thank you for your question. I'm going to give you a
Hey buddy, what's your name, man?
Hi, I'm Thomas, and oh man, I don't know if I'll be able to top that. That was awesome. And I got you, Johnny, with a DMC question. Have you ever read up on World of V, like the spin-off manga on that game?
World of V?
Yes, it's kind of a deep dive into V's character, I guess as well as Virgil's.
I have not, no.
No, but I guess to avoid spoilers, I think it's good to check out. And I guess my question is there anything you kind of hope to explore with at least Nier or anything related to the other characters? If there is any future iteration of the game or like an anime, something like that?
Maybe.
So real quick, Johnny, I'm being given the wrap-up cue.
Okay.
So this is the last question.
Sorry guys. You know what, I might have a little time at my table, so I'll head over there for a little bit for those of you that maybe didn't get a chance. And then if you have a question, I can maybe do that before I head out, hopefully. But just be mindful that I may have to bounce so I don't miss my flight, and I don't want to miss my flight. Yeah, so sorry guys, if you wanted to go to the table, I can try to answer your question over there. Maybe. I have to leave you with that. Which means, you know, yeah, I can't say much. And there's only one reason I can. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. If you guys are around, Anime Detours, I'll see you guys there. And if not, just be safe, enjoy your holidays, and you know, as much as maybe your family or parents annoy you, try to love them. Over Thanksgiving and Christmas. You guys take care. Enjoy your holidays.